Welcome to Latin at Home. I am Kathleen, your host. In this series, we will be using verses from the Mass readings to practice Latin. Let's get started. Hello, and thanks so much for joining me. Happy fourth Sunday after Pentecost. Hope you're having a wonderful day. This is Latin at Home. We are going to go through a verse from the Gospel reading for this Sunday. The Gospel this week is Luke chapter 5, verses 1 through 11. We are just going to be covering verse 10. So I'm going to read it, and I'm going to read it again a little more slowly if you want to practice the pronunciation. And if you think that I'm mispronouncing anything, because I am much more trained in classical pronunciation than in ecclesiastical, so please let me know that in the comments. So anyway, here we go. Et ait ad Simonem Jesus, noli temere, ex hoc iam homines eris capiens. So I'll do it again a little more slowly. Et ait ad Simonem Jesus, noli temere, ex hoc iam homines eris capiens. All right, so thanks to these colons, we're able to break this down into three little chunks. So we're going to start with et ait ad Simonem Jesus. And again, you can see the name Jesus. I spell it with the I just because that's how I'm more accustomed to seeing it. Depending on which book you're looking at, it may have the J there. So et is and. We're just going to start there. And then in English, we usually start with a subject and a verb. Latin doesn't always have that word order. Actually, it usually doesn't. So we have to kind of go find those things. So got to look for something that has a nominative ending on it. And here there is a word, Jesus. And that, of course, means Jesus. That is our subject. And then we have to kind of go back in the sentence to find our verb. And it's this short three-letter word, ait. Has a T on the end because Jesus is our subject. So that means said. And Jesus said. Now we have ad Simonem. You could probably tell what this is already. It's a prepositional phrase. We've got ad Simonem. Ad is one of those prepositions, just means to, and it is always followed by the accusative case. So you can see the word Simon in there, and it has that em ending because it needs to be in the accusative. If you need to go back and watch either of the grammar videos, the nouns or the verbs, I have the link in the description. And then over here, noli temere. So these are both verbs, but this is not a verb that a verb form that we really know, because these are not conjugated verbs. This is actually a negative imperative. So noli means don't, do not. And then temere means to fear or to be afraid. So do not be afraid. And then finally, we have this last phrase, ex hoc iam homines eris capiens. I just want to start with these first three words because they're actually a little confusing. So let's start with the word iam. Iam normally means now, can also mean already. But when it's used with this prepositional phrase, this ex hoc, it kind of doesn't work in English. So ex means from or out of. You can hear the word exit. Exit is actually a word that comes directly from Latin. And hoc means this. So it's like from this, and then now this is happening. So when those are together like that, it's sort of like from this time, from now on, from this point forward. So I'm just going to choose from this time, even though the word time isn't included in there. That's really what those mean together. And now we can get a little more normal in our sentence. So we're going to go over to eris. It ends in an S. This is our verb. So if S is the ending of the verb, then our subject is, yes, it's you. And this is one of those forms of essay that we saw on the introduction, the verb introduction video. So this is you, will be, future tense. And next we're going to go over to capiens. This is a participial form. So this is not just a regular conjugated verb form, but it is technically a verb. You will be catching. And this verb comes from capere, and that can also mean kind of capture, but we know the context of this is talking about fishing. So in English, you don't say that you capture fish, you catch fish. So you will be catching. And homines This is our direct object of the participle, homines, and that means men. And it has that ending because it's in the accusative. So this verse was really nicely straightforward, and it's very well-known verse, just putting it all together. And Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From this time you will be catching men." So there's the Vulgate. There's what we just did together. And the Douay-Rheims translation is, "And Jesus saith to Simon, Fear not, from henceforth thou shalt catch men." And I have this nice painting to reflect on that. So this is a pretty well-known gospel. I think you all know the other verses that are in this gospel reading, but I just want to thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know in the comments of any questions that you have about anything that we covered. Please let me know other videos you'd like to see. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And I hope that you have a blessed fourth Sunday after Pentecost.